What next on the CHERERA 3? We will look at the CHERERA 3, but first of all, let us look at Irene Cherop Masit. Her case ended. The Constitution says that the recommendation by the commission, the inquiry commission, is binding by the president. And the president did exactly that. He terminated her work. Now she is not entitled to any benefits, and she has to be paid her half salary up to the date that the president signed. That is now her end. And there is a legal lacuna. There is a legal lacuna in that anybody impeached, there is no deadline. We do not say that he or she completes 10, 20, 30 or even 40 years and then the impeachment dies. You can see Ferdinand Waititu had been impeached, and the government appointed him into the Nairobi River cleaning exercise. And somebody at the time of recording this, somebody had taken that to court, and so we have to await that. So her future is not guaranteed. We do not know what will happen, but definitely the best she can do is to have a friendly government to place her. For the three other commissioners, Wanderi, CHERERA, and Obonyo, they were quick to resign. So on paper, they are entitled to a fraction of their benefits. By a fraction means they signed a contract. They signed a contract of working for the Electoral Commission for so long, and they resigned. They resigned even if the inquest found them guilty, but the inquest had found them already. It came out and when they had already left. But if you look at the reading of the inquest, there is nowhere it is referring to the three. So it shows that the inquest, the Muchelule inquest, already recognized that they were no longer there. It would have been legally a bit tough if the inquest would have found them all the four guilty, but the inquest just talked about Irene Cherop Masit. So it means that legally these people resigned, and legally they are supposed to be. Now you see, when they resigned, the date of their resignation, or the date when their resignation took effect, should be calculated in the percentage of what, let's say they spent 30% of the time or 20% or whatever. So when they complete, like the three, the chairman and the other Kinabolu, they completed the whole term. So they'll be given their benefits 100%. But these ones had served, let's say, is it 30%? Maybe 30% of the time. So whatever they were supposed to get, it will be calculated in the percentage that they worked. If it is 30%, then it will be 30% of the whole amount. I think they should have even tried to negotiate coming out, but you see, the environment is different. If you can remember Kina Isaac took the government to court, and the government knew that it was going to have a long battle. So what the government did with the Isaac's commission is that they entered into an agreement which the government honored. If I remember very well, the agreement here was, you see, they had worked for, let's say, 40% of the period. And then the 60%, the amount was calculated. If you are getting 100,000, then times 60, your salary times the number of months that was remaining. So they were given their salary up front. And then it was assumed that they had worked for all the period. So these people laughed all the way to the bank. The CHERERA 3 could have used that, but then the environment that was there during Isaac's time and the environment that is there during the CHERERA time is different. The government then wanted, and when I say the government, I don't talk of Uhuru government, Ruto government, I talk of the Kenya government. Kenya government then was in a hurry to get them off so that they have other people. So it was serikali inapembeleza hao watoke. But the government of Kenya, during the time of the CHERERA 3 or CHERERA 4, the government was hostile to them. So even if they would have tried to negotiate for a better term, they would not have succeeded. So to the best of what I believe they can get is only a fraction which is equivalent to the term served. On paper they can be given any other government, but you see, it is the government that is on. If Raila wins election in 2027, or a government that is Raila friendly wins in 2027, then they can stand a chance of being appointed to state jobs. But if Ruto or Ruto friendly government takes over 2027, I do not see them getting any government job in the near future, especially Masit. With Masit it's okay, but with the 3, it means that every time they apply for any government related job, the question always will be there as to how they did it. Mine was only to make an informed opinion about them, but watch this space. Do not be shocked if you find Wafula Chebukati as a judge of the Court of Appeal. Why am I not saying Supreme Court? Supreme Court is already filled up, and I do not see any judge, any vacancy there in the next 5 years. But in the next 5 years, I think I'm seeing a vacancy in the Court of Appeal, if it is not there. But I am foreseeing him being that. Okay, he may even get an ambassadorial job, he may get any other big job, but I'm trying to predict that Wafula Chebukati is ending up as a judge of the Court of Appeal.